We're heading on an NZ Adventures Eastern Explorer 4-wheel drive tour of the South Island of New Zealand. Our hosts are Robbie and Connie Cricket. This is a compact 5-day tour that focuses on the heartland of the South Island, with overnight stays in Geraldine, Ranfurly, Mosgiel, Lawrence and Alexandra. NZ Adventures offer a range of 4-wheel drive tours, and the Eastern Explorer is regarded as a more compact tour and in places is quite demanding. We meet up with Robbie at Alexandra a day before the tour commences. Time to put the finishing touches to preparation and get some new shoes on the NZ Adventures Isuzu.
Good. Good for some tyres. I think we'll look at those again.
Let's go have a wee look at them, mate.
Okay, sweet.
Let's have a look. Well, nice and flat, haven't they?
They've been excellent. They've been excellent.
As we can see, there's still probably a good 4.5 mil left on those, but for what you're doing, you want them replaced?
Yeah, we're asking our customers to come to the party with good tyres, and so yeah, we'll move these on to one of the kids. These ones have done, I think they've done just over 60,000 now. 64,000. I checked the records before you come in. So it's, and with that 4.5 mil left on them, you're going to get your 80,000. No problem. Easy. Probably get close to that 100,000 K club again. I think the first 83s we put on, we did 94 or something like that, and they weren't done. They weren't gone then. No. So I'm very happy with these tyres.
Well, I've got another tyre on the side that I'd like to show you. It is called Cooper 83, but it's the latest one on the market. Here it is over here. Heavy duty all-terrain new 83. Okay, introducing the new Cooper 83. It's a vast improvement on the old 83. The name was so good they've kept it, but the improvements have been, of course, in the TCC, tread compound carcass. Tread meaning they're giving us more tread. It's deeper. It's 33% deeper than the original OE tyre. Carcass, which means the strength. High tensile super steel's been used, so over boulders, off-road, we're not getting the penetrations, the stone impact damage. And of course, the silica compound, which gives us all the traction we need on those wet surfaces, as well as making the tyre last.
Yeah, so that all sounds really good, Ian. I remember putting the first set of 83s on the Prado way back, and that just transformed that truck, and we've been getting an excellent run. We have been really getting an excellent run. So, yep, I'm happy with those. Off-road accessories, we've fitted these tyre monitoring devices, Bluetooth back to a gauge in the vehicle. And the thing that surprises me is how much the tyre pressures go up in the course of a journey. And also how supportive the Cooper tyre seems to me to be at what would be lower than what might be otherwise regarded as a good tyre pressure. So what are your thoughts on tyre pressures, given about where we're going to, where we are generally here in the high country of Central Otago?
The pressure monitoring systems, Robbie, that you've installed have really been a big benefit for you, because you have to let your tyre pressures down. One pressure, as you're saying, won't suit all conditions. And that's where we find, especially with the Cooper tyres, the extra strength, we are able to lower our tyre pressures right down, to reduce our speed, get up over those rocks, through that soft sandy stuff, and then be able to pump them back up. But as you're aware, 99% of people that go out four-wheel driving just leave the tyre pressure it was put in at the time. So we believe tyre pressures are important. We set them all at 36 psi, and then talk to the customer about what they're doing with the tyre. Some need it higher, some need it lower, but by running a good quality tyre, you can actually drop your tyre pressure.
These tyres are sitting on about 32, 33 psi at the moment. If I was to drive on the road and drive to Ranfurly, the monitor would tell me they're sitting on about 37 when I get there.
Yep. So it's just amazing with the distance and heat, builds your pressure up. And of course, as we've said before, your tyres have worn nice and flat. You're 64,000 Ks on these. We've just measured them up at 4.5 mil left. And so by running a lower pressure, hasn't hurt them.
No.
So we're going to throw another set of new 83s on.
We're going to do that.
Deal's done. Thanks, mate. Okay. 1 hour, come back, all sweet. See you.
New shoes, eh?
After fitting our new tyres, we leave Alexandra and head to Geraldine, where in the evening we meet up with the other customers for a briefing.
Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say, oh, it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, long winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, so here comes the sun, and I say, well, it's alright.
Alright, here we are in Geraldine, beautiful weather, about to have our briefings, and that's the time when the customers that we're hosting will get to know each other, start to get to know each other. And I try and give you a fairly good heads up on when I'm asking for a corner person. So the first vehicle in the convoy will be the vehicle that I ask for a corner person. Have we got anybody who would like to volunteer to be the tail end person for tomorrow? Ian will do that. There's all sorts of manner of reasons that you can get this thing, and we'll give you a little pen and you write your name and possibly the nature of the misdemeanour, your version. Please leave room for the correct version. They could be little things that I can usually make seem larger. There could be a big thing, like you've driven away with a fuel nozzle still attached to your vehicle at a fuel station somewhere, and that's been witnessed, filmed. And on the last night, somebody will take the rolling pin away, hopefully with almost everybody's or most everybody's names affixed as a souvenir of the trip. And that's why it's important that you get the radio thing correct, because otherwise at morning tea time tomorrow we'll have an awards ceremony for somebody telling me that their radio is beeping. Well, tomorrow is day one, and it's our longest day. The weather looks like it's a cracker, which is good because this day is our weather dependent day of the trip. And it does look good. We don't certainly need it to pack in tomorrow. And once we get over into Otago, it's rockier and it doesn't matter. But just checking the vehicles, Dave. We're just glancing at the tyres, just having a quick glance at the rego, warrants, just stuff that we're obliged to do under legislation actually. And then we just check the fire extinguishers, that we've got adequate fire extinguishers, which was a condition of our insurance, and then we're done.
Trevor and Heather. Jim, Robbie. Neville and Nancy.
Yes, we're here.
Lane, Georgia, John and Lois. 10-4.
The course tomorrow takes us over a couple of mountain ranges, takes us over the Four Peaks range here in South Canterbury, takes us over the Hunter Hills, which is the border between South Canterbury and the Hakataramea Valley. They're both stunning drives, and takes us up to high altitude, a lot of rocks, not many trees. For these people coming down from the North Island, this is going to be a big change.
For us now, you can see it is a genuine mountain range, complete with scree slopes and lack of vegetation right up high. And soon we will come to I think the third gate will be a locked gate, and we'll be in Four Peaks Station. Gate 2 secure up. Thanks, Ian.
There's some zigzags on. Happy cows.
Certainly from this point on, you will need to be in your low range four-wheel drive. We'll just stop here, as I said earlier, we'll just stop here for a few moments and
Great, isn't it?
It is just wonderful.
I think it's only going to get better.
We just can't work out how does Robbie find all these tracks. He does tracks to anywhere and everywhere. And look at that. Look what we can see. Yeah, everybody's keen, are they? Well, not just
It is a nice day. You know, we're pretty lucky. We've been here and I've said no. We're not going any further, but because the first few kilometres are quite weather susceptible here. Got a big uphill ahead of us, you can see, and if the ground conditions are against us, we're not doing it.
I'm expecting to see Julie Andrews come over one of the hills.
Exactly. That's why we keep coming back, because that's our expectation too.
Do you hear that? We got a tabernacle choir down there. Come on, girls. The hills are alive.
with the sound of music.
Well, there ain't no use to someone around here if you don't know by now. Well, there ain't no use for you sitting around here. It'll never do somehow. When you still home at the break of dawn.
J7 good. Okay, thank you.
It's just nice, good backcountry stuff. Those cows obviously haven't seen too many people for a while.
Still, I wish there was something you might do or say, try and make me change my mind and stay. We never did so much talking anyway, so don't think twice, it's alright. And there ain't no use in a calling out my name now. Like you never before. And there ain't no use in a calling out my name now. 'Cause I can't do it.
Very welcome. Come back.
He's always going to get the last word.
I don't know what you mean, darling. Right.
Don't think twice, it's alright.
The other two
So long, honey, babe, right back, and I can't tell. Goodbye is too good for a babe, so I just say, well, I'm not saying you treated me unkind. You could have done much better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted all my precious time. So don't think twice, it's alright, baby. Don't think twice, it's alright.
How is it?
Oh, great.
A wee bit breezy out here.
But cool, yeah. You don't need the central heating on.
No. Day 1 of NZ Adventures Eastern Explorer Tour was coming to an end, and we hadn't been disappointed. In the first part of the day, we had traversed Four Peaks Station, home to the well-known Poole Dorset sheep stud. In the afternoon, we had headed into the Mackenzie country, a large semi-desert upland that sits high on the borders of Canterbury, Otago and the Southern Alps. The final descent for the day capped off what was a series of endless views of the backcountry. Our overnight stay would be in the small township of Ranfurly. Good day?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Places I haven't been before.
Yeah.
So, great view.
Yeah, wasn't it? Brilliant. Let's go and eat.
Yep.
How many bits of this would you like? This is good. Would you like some ham?
There you go.
Would you like more than that? It's expensive to travel. I think we can all accept that it's expensive to travel. It matters not where you travel, because from time to time you will be asked to pay for fuel, possibly be asked to pay for the odd beer or two, especially for your mates. And if you're anything like I suspect our good friend Ian Hurst is, you'll forget your money.
The only time you've been useful in my life.
He's had that thing 3 years in a row.
Well, here we are in Ranfurly. Just been overnighting here at Hawkland Lodge. Absolutely beautiful accommodation. And looking around, the sky looks promising. It's cooler here this morning, so hopefully we're going to have a cooler day because it was hot enough for travel yesterday. And we're going to go out to historic Kyburn Station out to the east. And then we're going to travel up into the Otiaki Conservation Park, which was part of Kyburn Station. Fantastic tracks and vistas, a lot more river crossings than yesterday, and back to Ranfurly tonight. Hopefully we don't get blown off the trails later on today with the strong nor'westerly winds that they had here yesterday. But no, it looks promising.
There's one there for you and one for myself, because we've got bacon and egg pie, but they've made you a vegetable frittata because it's got no pastry.
Okay, the additional vehicle I referred to is a very attractive dark maroon Isuzu D-Max with Scotty and his team from the Central Otago Motor Group. That mountain range that's in front of us, with looking quite spectacular actually with the early sun, that's the Rock and Pillar range, the last of the major parallel Central Otago mountain ranges. It's 5 of these ranges of hills which are roughly aligned parallel.
We're in New Zealand. Holy crap. His back wheel went off the ground.
freaky that drop off, isn't it? So if I can introduce you to Nick Mackenzie. As I said, the Mackenzie family have had an association with Clyburn Station now since 1875, and that carries on with Hamish, Nick's son, day to day managing the place now.
Yep. Yeah, no, I still have to do a bit of work, but it's not always what I want to do. But I'm told what I'm going to do now. But we've got about 3,000 hectares. We run 11,000 ewes, 600 cattle. We've got a wee bit of irrigation now through a bit of ground we purchased down at Clyburn next to a block we had down there. And so it's really, the whole thing's changed from being sort of high country to being sort of semi-intensive now.
So what breed of sheep are you running, Nick?
We've got half-breeds, basically, Romney cross merino half-breeds, and we've got a few crossbred ewes, Romney ewes, that we basically were meant to be down under the irrigation, but they seem to spend most of the time up here. So, but that was my decision, but that was a bad one, the way the wool prices have gone. But they certainly pump out some lambs, so yeah. You can't have it both, but with the half-bred we're having it both ways. The wool's good and the lamb's good. So.
And your micron?
22 to 25. Yeah. But it's one of the better seasons you'll see this place in. We've had 2 reasonable years, but this has been even better. It's good for the country though, because you know it gives everything a chance to regenerate the tussock country, and particularly here. If you can let it need. Don't say we flog it, but a year like this you can't flog it. So there's been, you know, a lot of feed conserved everywhere this year.
Because people wanted to farm the land.
Won't you come out to play? Oh dear prudence, with a brand new day. The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear prudence. Won't you come out to play? Oh dear, open up your eyes. Oh dear, you see the sunny sky. But you are part of everything, dear prudence. Won't you open up your eyes? Look around, round, 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 round. Look around, round, 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 round. Look around, round, round, round. let me see you smile again. Won't you let me see you smile? Dear, please, won't you come out to play? Dear, please.
Mate, that's got to be the worst gate in the whole trip.
Best photo spot.
We're just on the moon at the moment.
We are
Look at the landscape. We landed in Apollo 2.
Won't you come out to play?
Will that be big enough? Yeah. Okay. We'll give it a whirl. Robbie, the people down there thought I should bring this down. People down there thought I should bring this down for you. Is that big enough?
Yeah, too much space.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Make your barbecue out of control.
That's what you could do though, Barry. It won't be all that hard to work out who this quote belongs to, and it relates to our first river crossing of the day. And the quote is, "Hang on, Nana, we're going in."
Rolling like a breeze, country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. I don't belong, take me home, country road.
So today is day 3 of our 5-day trip, and we're going to head from here in Ranfurly in the Maniatoto down to Mosgiel in the Dunedin city area. But on the way we're going to take in the Goldfield Trails on the northern end of the Rock and Pillar Range, and then we're going to the very modern, massive gold mine facility at Macrae's, and we'll have a look there. Big trucks, big hole in the ground. The trip will eventually take us down the Tyree Gorge, and we'll cross the Tyree River in the gorge and the Tyree Railway, and make our way down to our accommodation in Mosgiel.
Ian and George. All good. Barry and Debbie. Good.
Stock around, isn't it? The lambs are fantastic.
The country's so green, isn't it?
Amazing, yeah, that's for sure.
And it's been consistently doing this being between 5 and 6,000 kilometres.
It looks like a hobbit hole. Oh, there we go. There you go, that is a hobbit hole.
Got your window and I've known for the reason I'm driving on. Don't think twice, it's alright. instead of turning on your light. On the dark side of the road, but I wish there was something you might do or say, try and make me change my mind and stay. You never did too much talking anyway, so don't think twice, it's alright.
Made a bit of shelter there.
I've found it. It's my happy place.
You're
getting a tad wet out there, Nancy.
Better hurry up.
Okay, go.
We're in inclement weather now. Switch out of your shorts now.
Hey, I'm alright.
Geez, I'm hot-blooded.
That's it, that's it.
New Zealand sheep, they, most Australians know, are very friendly.
And a lot smarter than Australian sheep.
Just stay down low, we're staying down on the river. We come to the Y and the white rails.
So long on a big rubber, but I can't tell. Goodbye is too good for a bed, so I just sit and wait. Well, I'm not saying you treated me unfair. You could have done much better, but I don't mind. You just can't waste it.
Yeah, here we are starting day 4, heading from Mosgiel inland again to Lawrence, historic gold mining town of Lawrence. But got a fairly tortuous way of getting there, and the rain yesterday will make it just that much more tortuous, so that's something to really look forward to. So we get some coastal views out of the way and good scenery, some bush, native bush, first time on the trip, and a bit of exotic forestry, nice lunch at the Lee Stream School, and then we'll go slipping and sliding.
Great rain.
Day 4, our Mosgiel to Lawrence Day is a bit different, certainly different morning again this morning to what I expect we'll have this afternoon, so make the most of this morning. This afternoon you'll have to be right on your game.
You know, they might be good four-wheel drivers, but well, go on, put in low range. Ah, the things we do for love. That's better. See, that's love. Return trip. Oh, we've got a slip. Oh. Yep. Okay, next. Oh, Robin. Oh.
What's that comment?
Ian and George.
I can see them wandering in the car park.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to find jumper leads. Tuned up and there is some harvesting going on, and maybe, but it's not how it is at the moment.
My wife was just saying that unbelievable how our leader knows all these tracks around the forest. But then 10 seconds later he said, "I'm lost." Twice. Yeah. We found out the reason for it. He said he paid $2,000 for the key to get in, but he couldn't afford the map. So we're taking up a collection and starting a Give a Little page. So in the future, New Zealand Adventures can afford maps of forest plantations.
Make sure you swallow first, Robbie.
Cut it off quite quickly.
You'll all probably be surprised to learn that I've had these before.
Robbie? Is he stuck?
Never.
Yeah, good. Well, apparently when you go backwards and have another go, it's called being stuck.
I just asked if he wants me to pull him out. Dave's asked.
You're driving then?
Do you want Dave to pull you out?
No, you just go around, use the track that I should have used. I need to move out of the way so we can have a go.
Hang on, so we'll go straight.
You're right.
Now let me.
Are you too busy thinking about your rolling pin?
Slow. Oh, slow.
Can you run us through your thought process?
Just making sure it keeps the rolling pin.
This one.
You want your wheels changed? Mate, where are your work boots?
He's got them on, safety.
Where's his jandals gone?
There's the grip, you put your toes into the mud. Yeah, just call it here.
Well done.
That's the way.
Just a bit of pace, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. Just a bit of pace. I just chugged through it on the Isuzu.
Brute force, ignorance, and a bit of lead foot.
Mate! Mate!
No sweat. Yeah. Hang on, Nana, we're going in. She said it.
Hang on, Nana, we're going in.
Pretty awesome, eh?
Ah, good fun.
Trig station on the top of the Lammermoor range, 1164 metres.
That was amazing. Bit of mud and everything, so it was good.
We were just backseat passengers enjoying the ride. So.
Hang on, Grandma. Yeah,
I'm thinking, will I still have a ute to use next week when I need it for my work?
Any highlights today?
I reckon the highlight was the scenery. A lot of fun, a lot of really good fun four-wheel driving, but I reckon the real highlight was the scenery, that landscape of just endless snow tussock. It epitomises sort of a lot of the art we've seen in this country, and we just don't see it in our own backyard.
Yeah.
No, very special.
Robbie, it seems like there's a lot of competition for this rolling.
There is. I'm pleased about it actually. There is a lot of competition for it, Dave. I'm really pleased. I thought for a while there was a chance that I might have to, for nothing really. And now I see that there's no way in the world. So I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
Highlights. Probably seeing Robbie get stuck.
Oh, I did like that too.
And probably the downside was us getting stuck just after him.
It's not good for the
Patient a little bit.
That's a natural reaction to both. People are standing up already, and 3 vehicles got stuck in quiet assistance. Now, the second person to get stuck was Neville. And Neville, we're really good mates now, because the simple reason that Neville got stuck was to take the heat off me. But when you're younger, sometimes it's the 10-foot tall and bulletproof that you feel, no, that was bullshit. I'm just going to go with what I think. Sometimes that turns out to be the wrong decision.
You didn't get stuck where you did.
Oh, low blow.
That's it. Lane. Hey, you only told part of the story.
Was this for, did I get this for beating me through their mud hole?
Final day. They're back. The boys are back.
Yeah, we've got different
boys.
team 2.
Different team, this one.
Boys and girls.
It says team 1, but they put team 2 first.
Oh, right.
Team 1.
It's got them mixed up.
Yeah.
I'll get you radio.
Look what Bert and Robin got me for my breakfast.
Glad that's all your hands full. Yep. You want to pass that up, will you?
I just want to Angus.
How's it going?
Well, this is my first gate, and I can get over this very quickly.
Oh,
Hey, you don't want this to become habitual.
it's day 5.
Hey.
But just want to say to Connie and Robbie a huge thank you yet again for over-delivering on another one of your tours. We've had an awesome time and lovely to meet with such a special group of people. Enjoyed all your company. And Robbie, and Connie, to you guys, while we're all party to this, it's really nice to know that we're also party to the contributions that you're making back to these smaller rural communities on our behalf and your behalf. And just want to let you know that for most of us, I'm sure that we all respect that. So we'll bid farewell and we're making our way through the pig route. So thank you all very much. It's been a wonderful tour and been a real treat to meet with you all, and safe travels back home.
I'm gonna go to Prague.
Yeah, it was great.
Thanks a lot. Really cool.
So good meeting you.
Yeah, you too.
Safe
Good energy. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
See
Great
ya.
fun.
Yeah,
Great
good to meet you too, Possum.
Yeah.
Loved it again. Fantastic. Connie, you're a treat, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Yep.
That we've seen from rocky outcrops.
I've never been on a tour where you brought along your own mechanic and your own digger driver that can get people out of sticky spots, and your own policeman, your own nurse, and even a pest exterminator. But I would say that next time, can you please give them some extra training? Yeah. I'd just like to say one other thing too. I just like to give Lane a little memento and say that hopefully in the future you'll listen to Nana and Grandad a bit more than you did on this trip. But anyway, just to remind you of the day the Prado, the littlest vehicle on the fleet, dragged out the mighty Mazda. So here you go.
Awesome, thank you.
But one of the takeaway messages would be that
Don't bring one of those.
that's too short. But thank you very much for putting your confidence in us and travelling with us. And quite a few of you have done this before. And as I just said, I'd really like to see you all again. So thank you very much for coming. So this morning, John ran quite an exhaustive search for his phone.
Cheers, cheers.
Probably don't need another one of these after being married for 60 years.
He was leading it.
Just to remind you, Lois, that you saw a few sheep and you took one home.
We've got plenty at home. That if you're going into the water, the thing you had to do was wind your windows down and take your seatbelt off. And we were just joking in the car, and we just said, and do we get life jackets? And so we were laughing and carrying on. And then next thing Lane says, well, hang on tight, Nana, we're going in.
The one you love, this is what you do. Come on and dance, dance, dance to my tin guitar.
Oh, mate.
And very soon you'll know just where you are. Through the eyes of love you see 1,000 stars. When you dance, dance, dance to my tin guitar. Guitars were made for love, my band of men will always say. Give them all those pretty girls, they will start to say.
Here you go.
This is Lane, I'm Georgia, and these are my grandparents John and Lois. We're from Taupo and they are from Te Puke. We're driving the mighty Mazda.
And we bloody love it. It's been good.
Had lots of fun.
And we've seen lots of water and mud coming from you guys.
Yep, that's for sure.
Best part of the trip.
Okay, what's your favourite part of the trip?
The mud.
Marcel Van Rooyen with my darling mother Thea Van Rooyen, and I am from Winton in Southland, and my mother is from Pataru in the North Island.
Middle of the North Island.
And the trip has been fantastic. It's a great chance to get your ute dirty and find out the capabilities of what you've bought. Favourite part would be the steep ups and downs that we've gone through on farms.
Yeah, and I've liked quite a bit of the forest too. You know, the driving through the forest, seeing all the native trees and so on. It was really neat. But still, every day has been fantastic. Yeah, really great.
Yeah, one of the best organised trips we've ever been on, isn't it?
Yep.
It's Connie and Robbie are brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm Bert Ireland, we're from Gisborne, and that's the old duck. We have a garage in Gisborne, and these trips are absolutely awesome. It's our 6th one. We love them.
Robin, what do you reckon?
Connie needs to make up some more trips.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Ian and Diane Stevens from Cadicat, just north of Tauranga. Been a great trip. I've even got to do some of the driving, so that's made it extra special.
Grant, and I'm from Hamilton, and I don't know the best part. It's all interesting.
All interesting.
Yep. Neville and Nancy Petrie. We're from Rangiora, North Canterbury, and yes, we've certainly enjoyed every day of the trip. It's been marvellous.
If anyone ever comes on one of their trips, they don't bring snacks or any extra food, just bring casual clothes and plenty of humour.
And a tow rope.
And a tow rope.
Fair enough.
Ian Hurst from the Waitaki Valley, and we've had an absolutely outstanding time. Bit concerned about my navigator, but other than that, it's been stunning.
I'm George Crossan from Queenstown, and he's been in good company. I think he's opened one gate for the whole trip. That's 5 days of 1,000 kilometres of rural travel.
Not me.
But I've had a ball. Thank you for asking.
Barry and Debbie Johnston, Wanaka.
We're from Central Otago Motor Group in Cromwell and have thoroughly enjoyed the trip today. Still more yet to come. Would love to do it again.
Now, one question, how's this Isuzu going?
Beautiful.
Yeah, great, isn't it? It must
Yep.
be.
Yeah,
Perfect.
faultless.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Robbie and Connie Cricket of NZ Adventures offer multi-day four-wheel drive tours throughout the spectacular South Island of New Zealand. These tours cover the true rugged outback of this magnificent country, from stunning alpine views to spectacular valley floors filled with crystal clear water. With access agreements to 140 landowners and concessions with the Department of Conservation, Robbie and Connie design tours that take you to places rarely seen by the average tourist. A highlight of the tours is getting to know the landowners and sitting down and having a meal with them and listening to their stories. It's easy for Australians to get involved in these great adventures. Just a short flight across the ditch to Christchurch, where four-wheel drive rental at reasonable rates is available. Robbie and Connie can assist in providing advice on the type of vehicle needed for their tours. If you're interested in a once-in-a-lifetime four-wheel drive adventure of the spectacular South Island of New Zealand, contact Robbie and Connie at www.nzadventures.co.nz. And at this site you can view a range of tours and choose the one that is right for you.
She just said, is that the guy that's married to Nicole Kidman?
Oh. Hey Connie, did this one pass? This one in?
I don't
Yeah.
Oh,
we've only done it on
Just talking about photo beat, Dave, it's probably something that you don't hear a lot about in Manly.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
Yeah, it's not a commonly grown crop in Manly, I'm sure.
Connie, this is better than a cafe.
You shouldn't have showed it. I'm not supposed to be eating a biscuit.
Yeah, no. Stop hiding. Oh, because he's not smart. Oh, quick hide.
Yeah, look, did you see that?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
They just mind people doing their business.
What are you going to do? Give me a
shearing.
shearing.
Could do you never reach.
Nether regions? Oh, help me.
I think it's true. Because you're such special friends, and you told me how skinny I was, and I
You're
need
gonna
to eat pork chops.
You can have one too.
I thought you'd. No, I don't eat pork. So that's your special pork chops.
Taking 12 blows to kill a fellow countryman might take a bit of beating.
It was 5.
No, I think it was more than 5.
No, Sonia's correcting me. Apparently it's more than 5.
No, Debbie's already explained to me that it was significantly more than 5. And the one
Damn, he got me.
Just following your classy driving, Dave. You know, you're a bit of a machine yourself. And
a bit loose sometimes.
Unless you're on the possums, which you're a bit of a loose unit, by all accounts. But yeah, the carnage was happening around me, to be fair.
No, the Aussie spade murderer.
The Aussie spade murderer.
We had to,
We're not allowed to carry firearms, so
we had to.
I don't need a firearm.
We had some very good witnesses at the crime scene, so it's all been sealed off. We're gathering evidence.
There he is. The woodchuck.
The woodchuck. Cover over the blade. Thinking, why does it not cut so well?
Oh, it's got that bloody plastic guard on. There's my little darling.
Oh, don't film. Just watch where you're fucking driving.